friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda,
And I'm Rochelle.
and we're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So that is something that interests you. Please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pulp culture discussion. So first up, White Lotus Season 2 has added yet another cast member in Theo James. He was formerly of the Divergent movie series and also of the upcoming Time Traveler's wife. So that's cool. So the new season, though, has finally been said to be set in Sicily, Italy. So that'll be cool.
Ooh.
A new little location.
That'll be pretty.
Right? Supposed to start filming it out there, actually, in Italy. I think it said like 2 months, so...
Oh, that'll be a nice time.
Cool. The Oscars have added Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes as its hosts this year.
Oh, okay, so there's 3 of them.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be 3 of them this time, so that's cool. Make it so everyone gets a little chance.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. No one gets petered out.
Right, exactly.
That'll work. Paramount is filming a new Star Trek movie with returning stars Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, and Simon Pegg. It is set to be released on December 22nd of next year.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
I know. Well, they still have to film it.
Shows.
They still have to film it. I did like the movies as well, so they are going to film it again in a couple months this year, and it will come out next year.
Yay.
So that's
That'd
awesome.
Be awesome.
Jack Quaid, formerly of the latest Scream movie and also the TV show The Boys, has joined the cast of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. I swear that has like so many people in it. So this is getting to be a big thing. And for those who don't know, Jack Quaid, yes, is Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid's son.
Oh, is he really? Oh.
Yeah, he does look a lot like his dad. I don't really see Megan in him at all, but yeah, or not Megan, Meg. Sorry, not Megan, but Meg.
Is he in has he been in other stuff?
Yeah, like I said, he was just in the Scream movie I saw, but
Scream.
Then he first came about though in that TV series The Boys I watched on Amazon Prime. So.
Gotcha. Okay, and I haven't seen either of those.
How I Met Your Father has been renewed for season 2 on Hulu. So it hasn't even finished its first season, but apparently it's doing well. So they're giving it another round. Teen Wolf from MTV is getting a reunion movie on Paramount Plus. So all the cast has agreed to come back with the exception of Dylan O'Brien and Tyler Hoechlin, who's currently on Superman. Then they played Styles and Derek respectively. So hopefully they sign on because I was someone who watched that show and those two with their buddy banter like really helped the show. So I hope they agree to come back for the movie.
I have never seen that.
So I thought I would never like it but I was so curious because I loved the movies back in the day with like Michael J. Fox and Jason Bateman. So I was like, oh, let's just see what the TV show, of course, went a much darker route than those movies because those are more comedy, but I did end up liking it.
So it's just going to be a movie?
Yes, it's just a movie.
Not a series.
No, yeah, just a movie.
Okay.
They want to do a spin-off series, or I should say a reboot of the series, but with new people. So anyway,
awesome.
So I'm guessing that will happen after the reunion movie's done. Sonic the Hedgehog has already been given a green lit for a 3rd movie, and the second one hasn't even come out yet.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Right? Paramount Plus is also going to go ahead and produce a Knuckles spin-off series just for the network itself. So Knuckles is the antagonist along with Jim Carrey in the second movie coming out. And he is voiced by Idris Elba, so he's going to get his own little series.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that?
I know, right?
I'm sure it'll be good.
And as I've said before, I enjoyed the first Sonic, so I will see the second. So I'm sure the third hopefully will be as good as well. So Paramount as well has ordered additional episodes of 1883. So apparently they had only ordered 9 up front, but now they've asked for additional ones. They haven't said how many more, but it's probably my guess is they're probably going to round it to like 15 or 16.
Oh, and then it'll just be done?
No, that's just for the first season.
Oh, okay.
They were just doing a much shorter season, and then all of a sudden they're like, never mind, let's extend it a little bit.
Probably to see how it would do. It's probably doing it
right.
Well.
So
I like it.
So now they're extending it, so that's cool. Taylor Sheridan is going to be doing yet another Yellowstone spinoff. This one will be called 1932. Also just on Paramount Plus. It will follow a new generation of the Duttons during a time of Western expansion, Prohibition, and the Great Depression.
Oh, wow.
So, we're just going to keep going down the years in line,
right,
apparently.
Till we get to today.
until we get to the Yellowstone of today. And yes, the other spinoff 666 is still in the works. They haven't filmed anything for it yet, but it's still supposed to be happening. So
I wonder if that's going to be as good as the Dutton Ranch. I mean, I wonder how that's going to play out.
I know. I guess it depends on who else they get besides.
I mean, I like Jimmy.
Besides Jimmy to be on it.
But okay, well, we'll see.
So we shall see. So movies and TV shows out this week. First up, we have Uncharted in theaters with Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and Antonio Banderas, who I haven't seen in a while, so that's awesome. So Nathan Drake and his wisecracking partner, Victor Sully Sullivan, embark on a dangerous quest to find the greatest treasure never found, while also tracking clues that may lead to Nate's long-lost brother. I do want to see this. I've actually already scheduled myself to see this with a friend, so I'll let y'all know how it is, because I think it looks interesting. I like those like National Treasure-ish type movies, so hopefully this one's good as well. Dog. This is in theater starring Channing Tatum.
I want to see that.
So with the dog named Lulu by his side, Army Ranger Briggs races down the Pacific coast to make it to a soldier's funeral on time. Along the way, Briggs and Lulu drive each other completely crazy, break a handful of laws, narrowly evade death, and learn to let down their guards to have a fighting chance of finding happiness. So this does look good. You'll probably see it before me, so you have to
probably.
Yeah, so I'll have to get your take on it. The Outfit. This is in theaters and stars Mike Rylance, Zoe Dutch, and Dylan O'Brien. Speaking of Dylan O'Brien from Teen Wolf, how funny. The film follows Leonard, an English tailor who used to craft suits on London's world-famous Savile Row, who must now outwit a dangerous group of mobsters in order to survive a fateful night.
Oh, wow.
This was one we talked about in Trailer Talk a couple months back, and it did look interesting, so I do want to see that. It might be a while, though, since it's just in theaters. And then we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's right, folks, another one. Another one is coming out. Jeez Louise, they're getting as bad as Batman.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is just a movie that will be on Netflix. So it's starring Elsie Fisher, Jacob Lattimore, and Mark Burnham as Leatherface. So this is the difference, though. It is set in the modern day time. All of them previously have been set, like, in the 60s, 70s. So that is different than before. But so influencers, yes, media influencers, because that's the world we live in.
Right. Looking
to breathe new life into a Texas ghost town and encounter Leatherface, the legendary killer who wears a mask of human skin.
You think you're going to watch this? Because have you seen him?
I never saw the original. I did see the one remake that was done in the early 2000s. I can't remember even who was in it. And it was okay. I mean, it didn't scare me, thankfully. It was just like, huh. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence, but I mean, I'd have to be just like, okay.
Yeah, they weren't my cup of tea, but yeah. With it being on Netflix, you don't know.
That's true. It could happen. You're very right. One of those things you're scrolling through like,
yeah.
Hey, I feel like something crazy. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah, exactly.
Severance. This is the new series on Apple TV and stars Adam Scott, Patricia Arquette, and Christopher Walken. So Mark, played by Adam Scott, leads a team of office workers whose memories have been surgically divided between their work and personal lives. When a mysterious colleague appears outside of work, it begins a journey to discover the truth about their jobs. This looks very riveting, actually. When I saw the trailer, I'm on board to see this.
Are you? Okay, I wasn't quite.
You weren't sold when you saw the.
I wasn't. It's so weird.
It is weird. But it's weird enough that I want to know why they've decided to have like their memories divided and what's the purpose of it in terms of the companies. Mm-hmm. So I want to know these answers. So
I agree.
I'll probably watch it. But people with Apple, man, it's like I still need to finish freaking The Truth Be Told. So getting sucked into another mystery like this, I need to.
Well, it's on Apple. I'll watch it.
So yeah. And then finally, we have The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Season 4 out this week on Amazon Prime and stars Rachel Brosnahan. So I don't know anything about the plot. I've actually never watched this series.
I know either, and I need to.
But wow, going on Season 4, so...
Yeah, it's been really well received, and she's won some awards, so...
Exactly. I did hear, though, that this Season 4 is not going to be dropped in full like it normally has been, unfortunately. Even though it's on Amazon, they've decided to do a weekly drop instead of all at once. Why? I don't know. When I read that, I was like, well, that's weird. But so sorry for those who are used to getting all at once this season. Not so much. Not sure why. What we have been watching this week. So for me, I did watch all of Season 2 of Raising Dion on Netflix. You guys, this is just a really feel-good series. Yes, there's action. It is based off a comic book. This is produced by Michael B. Jordan. He doesn't make an appearance in season 2 like he did in season 1, but it's still a really good show. The story picked up right where it left off. Jason Ritter's in it, and he's great. He kind of plays a great character, so you don't really know to like him or not, trust him or not. But it's just a really good. I don't know. It's just a really good show. I like the mother-son relationship. I like the son's relationship with his little friends.
When you saw it, season 1?
I watched season 1 last year.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, and it was.
Sorry, I couldn't remember that.
It's okay, and it was just really good. So. I don't know. I just say it. I give it a whirl.
And how many wine corks?
I'd probably give it 3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty good series. One of those surprise sleeper things that you didn't really hear much about, and all of a sudden, and I watched. It's like, oh, this is good. So it needs to get more hype than it has. I also watched the movie Cop Shop on Peacock. I actually been wanting to watch this since it came out last year in theaters. Now this starred Gerard Butler. Sorry. Of 300 fame, and also Frank Grillo, who's my favorite from like the Purge movies and this TV show Kingdom. Anyway, it was the craziest. It started off slow. I was like, this is gonna be stupid, but I ended up really liking it. Basically, Frank Grillo's character is playing like this grifter who, in order to avoid a contract that's out in his life, gets himself thrown in lockup to protect himself from a contract killer played by Gerard Butler.
Oh my gosh!
But Gerard Butler. No, honestly, it isn't until there's a second contract killer that enters the picture, and he's just so over the top wackadoo. He's so funny. I don't even remember who that actor was, but yeah. So it's just interesting because Gerard gets himself thrown in there too, and trying to like get at him, and then this, like I said, the second contract killer comes in, basically trying to plow through these cops to get to him. It was a wild ride, but it was a really interesting story. It ended up having a twist in there at the end that I didn't see coming. So
that's good. Love those.
Right? I do love those. So I was very happy to see this was on Peacock. Like I said, I had been wanting to see that, so I did give it a whirl. So I would recommend it. 3 Wine Corks. It was just a good, fun, like action movie.
All right.
And then finally, I watched Marry Me, that movie on Peacock that stars Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson.
Yeah, and
it was I loved it. Actually, it was really. Yes, it was a little cheesy. I mean, it's a rom-com, a standard one where you know what's going to happen, but it was still enjoyable. I was a little on the fence because Owen Wilson's okay here and there. I loved him in Wedding Crashers, but I've hated him in like Blades of Glory. So it's just kind of.
Yeah.
He's he's a very iffy person for me.
Yeah.
And seeing them as a couple, I was thinking this, but actually ended up working. They had really good camaraderie and chemistry. So I definitely recommend watching it. That one I would give 3 wine corks to. So it's just cool seeing how they get to know each other and then, of course, eventually fall in love and all that fun stuff. So it was good. I will just make a mention that I did start Inventing Anna on Netflix, but since I'm not even halfway through, I'm not going to review it yet, so I'll give you an update on that hopefully next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does look good. And after what you've kind of said, your thoughts are on it, I want to watch it. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So what I've been watching this week is I did watch The Tinder Swindler, the documentary on Netflix about, the guy who was, he was a bad guy. Let me just put it that way. And he took several women for a lot of money. And the way he did it was just like crazy. How do you even, it basically was a Ponzi scheme. So, if you know anything about Ponzi schemes, poor girls, sometimes women are just super naive, especially when they think they're falling in love. And he really took advantage of several of them until one got wise to what he was doing. And she got back at him. But anyway, I definitely think this is a one to watch. I'd give it, 3 wine corks. Because it is a documentary, so. Anyway, and then I'm a little, slow at watching stuff. Nocturnals. And you said that, I know that it came out, a couple years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's one I've always wanted to see, and it just so happened that it was on, and wow, that was so crazy. I just wanted to punch Jake Gyllenhaal in the face and tell him to, grow a pair. Anyway, it was kind of disturbing, and there were times I felt like I had to fast forward through it You said you watched it, right?
Yeah, I remember not liking the ending. It was just kind of
Right, I didn't like it.
It was just
either.
kind of okay, the movie, but it was one of my
Yeah, it was really, really kind of odd. So, anyway, and then on Netflix I watched The God Committee, and that is with Julia Stiles and he played Frasier.
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer. Jeez, can't believe that. Woo! And basically, they are a committee of heart surgeons who decide who gets a new organ. So, sometimes it's a lung, sometimes it's, mostly for them it's a heart, but there are times that they will have to figure out who gets a new organ. And it's really interesting, if it's at all true, how they're picked, how some of these people are picked. If there's any suicide in your background, it ain't happening. Whether you meant to do it or not, you probably won't get a heart. So there's a lot of factors, but it was really good.
Oh, okay.
So I definitely would, would say to watch this one. So, again, maybe 3.5 wine corks for me. Okay. And then I did finish Cheer.
Oh, right.
Oh, it was good. And they, I really enjoyed it. They sure went through some crazy times, both schools, but they did a great job, and I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, watched the Super Bowl. No, my team did not win, so there you have it.
And I had no skin in that game. I could care less. So, I was just there I just tuned in for the halftime show, and that was it, which I did enjoy. So
I did too. I liked it.
I even went back and watched it again on YouTube later. So.
Yeah, well, and it's not like Cincinnati's my team, but I mean, I was picking them. So anyway, but they were 2 underdogs going at it. So anyway, it was good.
Yes, it was good. So speaking of the Super Bowl, we thought we would tell you our favorite 3 Super Bowl ads that aired during that time. So weirdly enough, most of these I ended up seeing. Because I wasn't watching the Super Bowl, I'd seen them prior to the Super Bowl even starting. So which I thought was weird. I thought they usually like to save them, but that's fine. Anyway, works for me. So first up is the Alexa. This by far was my favorite. This starred Scarlett Johansson and her husband Colin Jost. It basically was about if Alexa could read your mind. About what it would say, and it was just hilarious. I mean, there's this one moment where Scarlett's like rehearsing for her husband for a play, and Alexa's like, "Oh, send a reminder to fake your own death that day," because she's
yeah, that was funny.
and it's like they're having dinner with friends, and it's like, oh, it's my Gammy's recipe, and the Alexa's like, no, that means it's short for she bought it, down the street, da 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 da. So like I said, it was a very funny ad. I thought it was very well done. And then I also liked Squarespace that had Zendaya in it, and then at the end, Andre 3000, who ended up being the narrator.
That was good.
And I just have not seen Andre 3000 in so long, so that's cool. It ended up being the narrator. But it was just very cute. It's like the Sally Seashells things. I hadn't thought about that little thing in years. So that was a cool thing to put out there. And I didn't know much about Squarespace. That actually gave me more insight into it. So well done. And then finally, I was a very big Cable Guy movie fan back in the day. So when I saw that Jim Carrey was in this Verizon ad, I was down for it. It's like he can do no wrong in terms of comedy for me when it comes to that. So it was just very well done. It was, like I said, he was reprising his Cable Guy shtick, trying to get into this girl's house, which he does, and then she's trying to tell him all about how Verizon, she doesn't need cabling. Anyway, it was just very funny. Loved it. It was cute. So those are my top 3.
Well, and I did love that too, the Cable Guy. That was a favorite of mine. But I really liked the Lay's commercial with Paul Rudd and
oh, right.
Was it
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Yes, Seth was in it. That was funny, and they would talk about how they would go back, their memories of when, maybe they were kidnapped and they had potato chips, or when they were on this road, this kind of gosh, there were so many different scenarios, so it was really funny. I love that one. I love the avocados commercial.
No, I did not see anyone about avocados.
You did it?
No.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. You should watch that one. It's fun.
Okay.
I don't know anybody in it, so I don't think there was anyone.
Probably just a regular commercial with regular folk.
Exactly. And then I thought it was so funny with the other Lay's commercial. Well, it was more like Tostitos, Lay's, It was the whole.
Oh, was that the one with
with
Pete Davidson at the end where it gets knocked over? No.
No.
Oh.
It's like with Eli and Peyton Manning, and then Terry Bradshaw, and they're on a bus. I forgot who that football player was, but he came to get him, and then they were going to go watch the. Anyway, that one was really funny. So those are my 3 favorites.
Okay.
Just funny, they had 2 different Super Bowl commercials for chips for Lay's.
That is different.
So, so anyway, both of them were really funny.
I guess they just wanted to appeal to a wide audience. Like, maybe you don't like Seth and Paul, so it's like, let's bring in some football players.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just do the other side. So let us know what your favorite Super Bowl ads were, because, we obviously didn't see them all, so I'd be curious to know what you guys thought out there as well. Now it's time for some movie trailer talk. First up, we have Jurassic World Dominion. This will be out June 10th and stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, a returning Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Elliott.
Yay! I'm so excited.
I think this is the perfect way to round out the trilogy, as all these movies like to do, with the OG cast coming in. This looks very interesting. I admit the plot, I wasn't not clear on it quite yet.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
How did the dinosaurs get in the stone? I mean, dinosaurs did not roam the earth into the stone. Well, some of them did, like the mammoth and everything. But this was different time periods. But for the big ones, and like your the Velociraptor and those types of dinosaurs, which were found here in Utah, it wasn't snow.
That's true. I could only assume because they're trying to find, maybe they're after or tracking Blue somehow. That depending on where the Chris and Bryce couple are keeping Blue, maybe somehow they were like tracked and they're in a cold climate.
Right?
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Or they were genetically produced. So maybe they've taken them somewhere.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
It's cold. I mean, I don't know. So yeah,
that's true.
I'm definitely gonna find out.
Very interesting. It's like they've been keeping Blue as a pet, for a little bit, and now all hell is about to break loose. There was even like a little.
I'm so excited for the cast though.
Yeah, me too. It's always cool to see Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there. It is. Next up, we have Father Stew. This is out April 15th and stars Mark Wahlberg and Jackie Weaver. This surprised me. I started watching it thinking and it totally like flipped the script out, like realizing what this was actually about. So Mark is playing, just I guess a regular guy that doesn't always do the right thing, getting in bar fights, this or that, and one day he gets hit by a car, and because he is saved, he begins like a new spiritual journey in terms of becoming a priest. Unfortunately, he's having health problems along the way, and so it's just really about his faith and how he's trying to turn his life around and do good before the end comes. Is how I took it, but it looks very heartfelt. I mean. Yeah. I laughed at a couple parts, especially with Jackie Weaver playing his mother when he was like, "I'm gonna become a priest," and she's like, "For Halloween?" And it's like, "No, for reals." Anyway,
I probably as a mother would have thought the same thing.
Right after your son's been doing all these other things that's really not religious at all, you're like, "You're gonna do what?"
And Mark Wahlberg's, he's the tough guy, so
right. So this looks really good. It's based off a true story, so
well, there you go.
Right. So I do think it's good. I would see this. And then lastly, we have Nope, out July 22nd, and stars Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya. This, of course, is the newest Jordan Peele movie. And the difference in this one, I feel like it's extraterrestrial maybe based. That's what I feel like, he's very good about not giving away of what's exactly going on in his trailers. But I have a feeling this is all about, everyone kept looking up. I have a feeling it's going to have an alien, twinge to it.
Oh yeah.
In this case, it grabbed me, unlike even like Us did. This actually, I was like, oh, I'm into this.
I agree. Yeah.
What's going on? So
we should go see that.
Yes, I'd be down for that. So I love Keke and I love Daniel, who I swear is in every Jordan Peele movie. So
right,
bring it on.
See how they have their favorites,
right? It's like, Daniel, you want to do every movie I'm in? Sure. And Keke, I haven't seen in movies in a while, but I love her as like a host. She used to host the third hour of Good Morning America when they had one, and she's hilarious. She hasn't acted in a while, so I'm all for this. I think she's awesome.
Oh,
so
great!
Looking forward to this one.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. And it looks like there's some good things to watch that's coming up. So thanks so much for listening, everybody. And have a fun time. And we had a fun time. You can have a fun time, too, if you want. And we hope you enjoyed it as well. Woo! Please give us a review or comment, as it really helps us out. And please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_Moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.